Before we get into the actual numbers and findings here for the CBD Sleep Aid Supplement review we're doing, first I figured I'd talk a bit about how I collected the data. So I collected data for a total of 29 nights, took the CBD supplement a total of 21 of those nights and didn't take it for 8. Now, the 21 nights that I did take it, I was most of the time taking like 1 ml plus, where the recommended dosage was like 1 to 2 mLs, where like the 1 ml line is here, but I was always kind of filling the dropper up almost like as much as I could possibly get in there. So I was probably doing more like, 1.25 or so mLs a night. 2 of the nights I did 2 mLs, and then on the last night I did like a whole bunch where it was getting low enough to where I was having a hard time getting everything to get into the dropper. So I got whatever I could, put it in my mouth and looked inside and went, it doesn't look like very much. I'll just drink the rest. But then once I got all the rest in my mouth, I was like, oh shit, that's a lot in my mouth. So the last night was definitely more than 2 mLs and probably, maybe even more than 3. So I had a pretty big dosing the final night. Out of the 8 nights, I did not take any of the CBD. I'm only counting 6 of those because 2 of those nights I didn't dream journal anything. And one of those nights it was actually, we had family visiting. So they're all bugging me to come and drink and party with them when I kept turning them down the earlier part of the week. So I'm like, okay, man, on that Friday, we getting hammered. So one of those nights I also just like basically blacked out and woke up. Didn't dream journal anything. Didn't remember no dreams. So didn't count that night either. And then I was also tracking how easy it was for me to fall asleep, what I felt like the sleep quality was in general, what the waking feel. So like how I felt initially waking up. So not like once I got up out of bed. This is like how I felt while I was still in bed. And then how the dream recall was overall. And then per each dream, I kept track of, was I lucid or not? What the stability of the dream was, how long it felt, and the clarity of it. I was also tracking, were the dreams positive, negative, or neutral. And this is one area that I wish I did differently, where at first I was just going for my dreams overall throughout the whole night, how I felt, they were positive, negative, or neutral. But later on, I started doing that per each dream. And when I did it per each dream, I think it would have helped to average things out a lot better. Where at first, like one of the nights I had like a verge on nightmare, right? So I counted that night as being just basically negative. But then when I was going through and like kind of reading the other dreams I had that night, all the other ones were basically more neutral. So I wish I did that. Now I could have went through and read each of my dreams and then tried to assign like a negative, positive, or neutral thing to it. But damn, man, I had a lot of dreams recorded and I'm not about to read through all that shit now and try and rank them that way. So that's going to affect the data there a bit. I also tracked, how many dreams I had overall and average that stuff out. And yeah, and that's it. So now we'll get into the numbers. Also, basically the whole month that I was using this, I was getting fantastic sleep, averaging like 7.5 to like 9.5 hours a night. So I was getting wonderful sleep there. Only drank, I think, like maybe once or twice during the whole month. Definitely no smoking weed or anything like that. And so I felt like it gave me a good solid grounds to pull all the data that I wanted to pull from it, seeing how it helped me fall asleep and affected my dreams.